In this video, we will explain the reason why, in the field of refrigeration, the real danger behind potential accidents is not flammable refrigerants themselves, but rather poor maintenance and installation procedures by the technician. That's why performing a proper vacuum on refrigeration and air conditioning systems is not only key to optimal system performance, but also helps prevent explosions and other serious hazards, especially when using refrigerants classified as flammable A3 or mildly flammable A2L. Let's start with the basics. For a fire or explosion to occur, three elements must be present at the same time. Fuel. In refrigeration, this would be the flammable refrigerant or the compressor's lubricating oil. Oxygen. If a proper vacuum is not done, oxygen remains inside the circuit, or in the case of a leak, from the outside air. Ignition source. In the case of a leak, an electric spark from a thermostat, contactor, or switch. Also, internally within the system, high temperature in the compressor or hot spots caused by equipment malfunction. Now we explain step by step why vacuuming is so important for safety, and why, if you're a refrigeration technician, you must do it correctly. And if you're a system user, you should demand it from your trusted technician during maintenance or installation. 1. Vacuum removes oxygen, air, from the system. Air contains oxygen, and its presence in a sealed circuit can cause internal corrosion, especially if mixed with moisture. But more seriously, explosive mixtures when combined with refrigerant and oil. Oxygen plus flammable refrigerant plus oil plus compression equals risk of ignition or explosion, especially inside compressors. 2. Vacuum prevents the diesel effect. If air or moisture remains inside the compressor, the compression process can generate high temperatures and pressure, acting like a spark. This can trigger the so-called diesel effect, where the mixture of air, refrigerant, and oil explodes internally, destroying the compressor. 3. Vacuum avoids acid formation and oil degradation. If air and moisture are not fully removed, they can react with the refrigerant, forming acids that damage the compressor, break down the lubricating oil, increase the risk of overheating and electrical failures, which may act as ignition sources. 4. Vacuum ensures safety when using flammable refrigerants. With A2L, mildly flammable, or A3, highly flammable, refrigerants, it's critical to remove oxygen before charging. Even a small amount of trapped air can turn a normal operation into an explosive condition. 5. Vacuum improves system efficiency and lifespan. A good vacuum reduces operating pressure, improves heat transfer, prevents internal ice blockages if moisture remains, avoids abnormal pressure and temperature conditions that could lead to explosive failures. 6. Even if the vacuum is done correctly, never reuse contaminated refrigerants, whether by moisture or other substances, unless you use a recovery and cleaning machine. Also, always replace the filter dryers, and you must replace the oil if it has been directly exposed to moisture. What is a good vacuum? Make sure the following conditions are met. A. Target vacuum pressure, at least 500 microns or less. Ideally, between 250 and 300 microns. B. Use a professional vacuum pump for refrigeration. C. Use a micron gauge, vacuum gauge. Never rely only on the low pressure gauge. D. Use short hoses to reduce pressure drop. E. Never turn off the vacuum pump before isolating the system by closing the valves on the gauge set or vacuum gauge. F. Evacuate both high and low sides of the system if possible. G. Remember, if the system is gas tight and sealed, the vacuum level reached by the pump should not rise or be lost. To test this, close the valve on the gauge and turn off the pump. Wait at least 20 minutes. If the vacuum holds stable, the system is sealed. Conclusion: a poorly executed vacuum is not just a performance issue. It is a direct safety threat to the technician, the user, and the lifespan of the system. Residual oxygen is a silent enemy that can cause fires, explosions, and compressor destruction, especially when working with flammable refrigerants.